Hey, what's going on, kind people? This is HHP the Boss Man, and welcome to my channel, Perspective on Trucking, the Seasoned Trucker. Just want to say hello to everybody, but today, it's one of those days where I pull flatbed, and I've been doing this 26 years. Love what I do. It's almost like being married. I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? You got to love this in order to survive it. But getting back, today's just the first video. I pull flatbed for a living. I've been driving. I've driven for the bigger carriers. I've driven for smaller carriers. Just a backdrop on who I am and what I am. But HP the boss, man. I like being my own man. That part is important. Been doing this, like I said, for a while. Love what I do. It's so important. And, a little bit about me. Again, I'm a seasoned guy. I've been driving since 1995. So I have the experience. And I know that a lot of people give their interpretations according to where they are and what they got going on. But, it's sometimes you need a guy with some experience to kind of have experience in giving you some guidelines, some pointers, and different things like that on what you may need to know and what you don't know. I mean, like anything, for starters, for you new guys or girls, you want to make sure that this is something you want to do. Because this job, you'll miss birthdays. You're going to miss certain appointments, certain things, because if you're a company driver, you got to go where the loads take you. And unfortunately, companies are going to do what they got to do to keep the money coming in because, it is what it is. Secondly, to you new guys, you want to learn how to back. You want to learn how to maneuver and be the best you can be. Because, a lot of people sit in there and say, oh my God, anybody can drive a truck. Well, that's not always the case. I mean, it's almost like when people used to say, oh, I'll box Mike Tyson. And unfortunately, as one shirt that I have says, every man has a plan until he gets punched in the mouth. And that's one of the things that unfortunately happen to people. They, unfortunately, metaphorically get punched in the mouth. Reality is what I'm basically trying to say. And so it's so important to know this is what you want to do, because the recruiter's job is like a wrestling promoter. Their job is to put a butt in every seat, male or female. Their job is to do exactly that, and they're going to do that. And, don't be tricked by fancy, flashy trucks. I mean, don't be tricked by 60 cents a mile. What's 60 cents a mile if you only drive 1,600 miles a week? I mean, common sense. But ultimately, when you don't know, you don't know. So you guys are smart. You girls are smart. If you see an ultra attractive person sitting at the bar by themselves, that might be. But then again, you got to ask yourself that question. Sometimes, you just have to kind of think for a second instead of just being a fool rushing in. Trucking has done well for me. I've done well driving trucks, but there's money to be made. But you just have to be able to want this. And this is just like I said to my new guys, to guys and girls that have been out here for a while. You know what I'm saying. And a lot of times people will sell you a boatload of dreams. But, if you have a wife and kids, or a husband and kids, trucking sometimes it takes you away. You do miss things. And these are the things that unfortunately sometimes people don't always get. Sometimes people miss things. I mean, I've been doing this. I've been 2 marriages. Because unfortunately for trucking, you become very independent. And to be a truck driver, you have to have a self-motivation as well. And that's something that, people, they won't tell you. They won't tell you that if you pull refrigerated in the Northeast, your appointments are early in the morning, most times, or late at night. And if you're not a night driver, well, and that's just what it is. I mean, and again, with the COVID-19 going on and everything right now, dry van and reefer is popping because they got to keep the food moving. And so you go into the Northeast, a lot of the stuff is union. So if it's union, guess what? They load their trucks during the day. They receive a lot of their stuff usually from like midnight to about 7 a.m. So a lot of times you'll be doing some night driving as a refrigerated or dry van. Flatbed, a little bit more work, but if you're not the motivated type to get out there and get it, flatbed may not be for you, because it's a lot of work. And if you're out of shape, if you're one of those people that are clumsy, You run the risk of slipping the ball. Again, I want to be real with you. I don't want to sell you a boatload of dreams, because that would be the part that messes you up, because nobody can make any money in a hospital bed. Nobody can make any money sitting at home recuperating on the couch. So, you got to find what you love to do so that it's not hard to do. It's like a man loving his wife or a wife loving her husband. Loving this person is not hard to do because it's easy. So, I mean, you just want to be able to be in the best perspective. But look, again, this is just the first installment of many. I'm H.P. the Boss Man. This is the Seasoned Trucker. And, hey, this is video number 1. So, like, subscribe. Hey, if you like what you hear, you want to hear more, let me know. Leave your comments at the bottom. Thanks.